Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is much more likely to just talk big rather than actually go far in his career. While he might come up with smart ideas or have interesting opinions, he struggles when it comes to putting in the long hours or sticking to a plan. If you're hoping for stability or a partner who climbs the ladder, you'll probably be disappointed.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to shut down and pull away instead of bouncing back. If faced with a mistake or criticism, he won't argue or fight back. He'll probably say very little and disappear into his own world. Instead, he prefers to step aside and let the storm pass on its own.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He's generally not the center of fights, but he's also not someone people rush to admire or befriend. Most colleagues will see him as quiet and distant. He tends to keep to himself and doesn't put much effort into building strong relationships. This can make him easy to overlook and, at times, a bit isolated in the workplace.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do well in your career, don't expect open pride or jealous behavior from him. He isn't the type to compete or feel threatened by your success, but he also won't celebrate it openly. He may offer a gentle word, but don't look for cheering or grand applause.
What if you start earning more than him?
He's unlikely to resent you or feel deeply insecure if you earn more than him. Money and status aren't what he uses to measure his own value, so your bigger paycheck won't sting his ego. Instead, he might drift into his own interests and let you shine without interfering.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's not someone who plans every rupee or keeps detailed budgets, but he's also not reckless with money. Most likely, he doesn't pay much attention to finances. He may forget to track spending or let bills pile up simply because it doesn't interest him. He won't rush out to buy things on impulse, but he also won't work hard to save or invest.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He tends to live simply and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. Flashy clothes, fancy gadgets, or big parties are not really his style. His way is low key and quiet, sticking to what feels comfortable and familiar.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't the type to be open handed or especially kind, but he also isn't harsh or strict about money. If someone needs help or asks for support, he'll rarely step up. You might find him keeping to himself rather than showing warmth or generosity. So, if you're hoping for someone who lifts others up with kindness or shares freely, he may fall short on both.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is mostly quiet about money, but he isn't secretive or controlling. If you ask him about his finances, he'll tell you the basics without drama or hidden agendas. You won't find him bossing you around or making big decisions without telling you.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He isn't likely to push the idea that housework is only your job, but you also may not find him volunteering much to help out. He usually keeps to himself and doesn't make demands. So if the house is messy or chores are piling up, he'll probably ignore it rather than insist you handle everything. He won't argue about chores, but he also won't take the lead.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's not the type to boss you around or stand over you while you work, but he's also not quick to jump in and help with chores or diapers. If things need doing, he'll likely keep to his own space and wait for someone else to handle it. His style is gentle, not controlling, but also not very active.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He doesn't argue just to prove he's right, and he won't push back strongly against your views. Most of the time, he listens quietly and doesn't say much, but he doesn't make a big effort to truly understand your feelings either. You won't find yourself locked in heated arguments with him.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he stays mostly quiet and doesn't yell, say hurtful things, or act aggressive. Instead of lashing out, he withdraws and keeps his feelings to himself. He prefers silence over conflict, which can make him hard to read at times.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, this is not the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. He tends to be calm even when things go wrong and isn't quick to raise his voice or lose his temper. There isn't a big red flag about sudden anger or explosive outbursts with him.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He's not the type to quickly say sorry or take clear responsibility, but he also doesn't blame you when things go wrong. If a mistake happens, expect him to be silent or gently admit it without much conversation. If you value clear apologies and teamwork, you may need to be patient and encourage open communication.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he is likely to respect your boundaries and understand that no means no. He isn't pushy or forceful. And if you say you're not comfortable with something, he will quietly step back and not argue or press the issue. You won't need to worry about him ignoring your wishes or trying to change your mind by being stubborn. His gentle and withdrawn nature makes him careful not to cross lines.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he's not likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. If you say you're tired or just want space, he won't sulk, argue, or feel rejected. Instead, he'll accept it quietly and give you room without making things awkward or blaming you.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the kind of person to use sensitive memories or personal details against you or to embarrass you later on. He doesn't gossip or make fun of you, even when upset or angry.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is more likely to be faithful than easily distracted by other women. He doesn't seek excitement outside the relationship and is generally quiet and reserved when it comes to meeting new people. His style is to keep to himself rather than chase attention or flirt with others.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not overpossessive, jealous, or controlling. He doesn't watch your every move or question who you're with. Instead, he prefers his own space and trusts you to do as you wish.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature is not a sign of a controlling personality. He doesn't try to boss you around or make decisions for you in the name of caring. His style is gentle and hands off rather than strong or interfering.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's more likely to expect you to do most of the work rather than seeing parenting as a team effort. He doesn't naturally jump in or take charge when it comes to kids and family duties. He won't argue or demand credit, but he also won't take on much responsibility unless you specifically ask for help.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
He will almost always stay calm when the kids mess up or get upset. Yelling, scolding, or losing his temper isn't his way. He prefers quiet and would rather step back than get angry. Kids will find him easy to approach because he doesn't react with drama.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will quietly support your role as both a mother and your own person, but don't expect big gestures or strong encouragement. He won't stand in your way or demand you focus only on family. Instead, he'll let you manage your own choices, giving you freedom and space. He's unlikely to judge or restrict you, so you'll be free to balance motherhood and personal goals as you wish.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not the kind of man who will support your career now just to ask you to quit after you have a child. He doesn't have strong opinions about what you should or shouldn't do, and he won't pressure you to change your plans for work after becoming a mother. You won't face sneaky rules or sudden demands to quit working.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's more likely to act politely on the surface rather than treat your parents with real warmth. He may greet them kindly and behave respectfully, but he won't go out of his way to build deep, friendly bonds or show extra affection. He's not rude, but he's reserved and prefers not to get too involved. He's more likely to quietly adjust to your family than expect them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and quietly. He isn't the type to shout, argue, or make things worse by getting emotional or dramatic. You won't have extra fights or big scenes because of him. He prefers peace and avoids trouble.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
No, he's not the kind of man who acts modern with you, but expects you to be a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. He doesn't pay much attention to social rules or push you to behave differently for others. If you want freedom to be yourself, this is someone who will let you do that, even in front of his relatives.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than actively support you or side with his family. He avoids conflict and doesn't like to get involved in arguments, so you might find him keeping quiet and hoping the problem goes away on its own. He won't take sides or jump in to defend anyone, preferring to keep the peace by staying in the background.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is not likely to be a mummy's boy, and he won't always choose his mother's side in a conflict with you, but he also won't clearly stand up for you or get involved in the fight. He treats both sides calmly but keeps himself out of the middle.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
No, he isn't likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He prefers to keep personal matters quiet and doesn't talk much about what happens between you two. You won't have to worry about your personal issues becoming family gossip.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Day in and day out, being in a relationship with him feels quiet, gentle, and low on drama. You'll have lots of space to make your own choices, and there won't be arguments or constant demands.